First thing in the morning, I'm allowed to be snarky.
Oddly enough, that is more often than not the prime time when we haven't quite cleared our head and gotten our sensibilities under control.
Sensibilities. I'm about to play Todak. I don't have sensibilities. I have murder, less murder, and then eat.
Ah, yes.
That does sound like Todak.
Oh, shit. I forgot that.
Forgot the what? Voice changer?
No, I got it. I was going to try to readjust Dusk's voice because I never really locked it down to get it to sound right, and I keep forgetting to do it.
Fair enough. I'm on Twitch. Don't be a bitch. There we
One of
go.
the one of the uh, downsides to being insanely lazy.
I'm sure at least all of us here could do that.
Yeah, I just realized I forgot to take something off, so there was that.
And to be completely honest, I still really am not 100% on this program. I don't real. I suppose if I had the background in audio and mixer boards and all that good stuff, it might be easier. But
I will raise myself
I
up.
can hear that it's
Turn
when
them down a
something
bit
doesn't
because
sound
they're
right, but I
peaking
have
loud.
very little understanding as how to fix it, or
How's that
even
for
what
everything?
needs to be fixed. If you get what
Is
I'm
this a little
saying.
bit better? Should I turn them down a bit
Yep.
more? Because it's kind of balancing it on for D&D is a little problematic sometimes. Are you back as ready?
As ready as I'm gonna, as ready as I'm going to be.
Yep, I did. I forgot we leveled up last game, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that.
Did I do that?
What am I doing here?
I think I did. What level are we now?
9.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. Level 9.
Also, I did forget to do something that I probably should do for D&D. Um, if you guys could real quick, just resend me your guys's uh not Rex because I have a token for him, but Dusk and Karen, if you guys could resend me your tokens.
I don't know
Fuck. Oh, right. I'm a ranger.
exactly what you mean by that.
The tokens for your characters.
Oh, yeah, I get which token you're talking about. I just don't know how I'm supposed to send it to.
Over Discord?
Shit. Okay. All
Like
right.
the original picture you had for it.
Yeah, the token version of it. Either one works. What's that damn website called again?
Mm,
The one that you make them on?
No, not that. Great, I had to freaking look at the link.
All
Reactive
right. Well,
images.
like, do I have one? I do have.
I think you can save.
I assume that's what you needed.
Give me one sec.
Are you
Yes, that is
kidding
exactly what I
me?
needed. Alright. That is Ken. Should have done this before, but I completely forgot. Morning, Saber. And now time to do Shaz's.
Be right back.
Okay, and the token images actually works best because if you look on stream how I added Karen's in.
I wasn't exactly. No, I wasn't watching the stream, but I wasn't sure what you needed it for, so I just sent you both.
Okay, yes. This way people can also see who's talking. Browser source. Dusku.
Hey, have you seen the 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 little bunny guys in the expansion? Yeah,
No, not yet.
remind me to show you. They're funny. So.
Okay. Well, I got that part out of the way.
All right, I'm back.
Alright, welcome back. I have your guys' reactive images set up. Rex is a regular, so he doesn't need Todak's image. Also, because it's going to be a pain in the ass to keep swapping it back and forth.
Yeah, that's a thing. Oh.
Testing. 1, 2. Testing.
Testing successful.
And
Testing
you're
successful. Make sure you have fresh batteries in your keyboard.
wired.
Well, I know he doesn't have wired, so.
Yeah. I really need to get a new keyboard, if anything.
$20 at Walmart.
Yeah.
I have a
Alright.
few in my closet.
So, do you guys remember where you left off?
Fire.
It hasn't been that long.
Burn this mother down.
Yes. You guys have decided to take violence to an extraordinary level and burn
Yeah.
down a house.
To be
Or
fair,
20.
we actually didn't mean to, but it turns out this village is sitting on top of an untouched coal deposit.
Yeah.
So it's not really our fault. We had to do something to draw out the creature.
You can blame Lunar for that.
Not to mention that it was a hotbed for undead activity, so needed to do something to prevent that.
Wait, there was undead
For-
involved too?
No, but it was
Okay.
filled with corpses, and you don't want to leave corpses lying around you know,
That is
unattended,
reasonable.
because
Yes. You guys had just managed to get back up topside before the fire engulfed you and killed you all.
do you believe we managed to salvage some form of trinket to?
I wanted to take the thing's head. One of them.
Yeah, I want to say that we did.
Yeah, you guys did. You guys have a
Verify.
head. Karen, I believe, took it back to the hotel.
Yep. And I also have basically I'm holding like it's shredded heart right now.
Yeah, you didn't do well getting that thing out. I am on the wrong game.
Oops.
I was like, wait a minute, Remy's not supposed to be in here. What the hell's going on? Yes. As you guys get out, you start noticing a few things. Now that your heads have cleared up and there's less fuckery about going on, you see people out on the streets kind of. Well, panicking is not a good word for it. They're freaking out. You see people throwing up, crying. You see a few, very few people like shouting fire. We gotta get this out. Some people that are a bit more, you know, used to seeing death, but people are starting to remember.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Uh, I want to confess, part of my brain didn't realize there were actually living people here. I thought there was all just sort of an illusion.
Nope. Everyone that you have ever interacted with in this town is a living person. They just were under the spell of the false Hydra.
Okay. That changes my perception of things considerably.
Yep.
Um, well, she's going to get to work helping and consoling those that she can in any way she can. Putting out fires, making sure, well, trying to, first things first, level of, what do you call it?
Fucks to
Uh,
give.
Not more or less, but that's not the level of concern. First, make sure that there isn't any immediate situations that need to be dealt with, like somebody trapped in a building and lives to be saved or whatever, and go down the list uh, of tasks to do based off of how immediate they need to be done.
Well, Aunt Karen just like looks around, sees all the burning buildings, and looks down at the burning tunnel we just crawled out of. I think the town is too far gone. We need to save these people. Evacuate the city.
Todak would agree. I believe that the damage done by the Hydra is beyond repair at this point. Dusk would do best, I believe, to rally the people away, being a religious figurehead and all.
That is the idea. But before we can rally them away, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any that needed to be pulled out of the fire or a collapsing building or anything of that nature.
Well, you can
Just
definitely give me a perception check.
Can we all make one?
try.
Yeah? Well, Todak doesn't have to if he doesn't have any fucks to give.
Todak has 0 fucks to give, but if Dusk asks, Todak might.
Well,
Oddly enough, Dusk probably doesn't ask so much as does more of the you check over there.
And that's as close as polite as Todak expects, so we're good.
well, you guys go
Well,
around
I
and
mean,
you spot that there's not a whole lot of people trapped, but there's a lot of people panicking near the fires, staying a bit too close. Nothing has really fallen on them, but as you guys are going about, Todak and Karen, you guys see this quite a bit. You see people that inconspicuous, but they start casting spells like create water to help put out the fires. There's actually a really good effort being done right now to save the buildings that can be saved, and they're doing a good job of it.
well, there we go. But I do have create water. So if if there is an emergency, I do have a small quantity of spell slots left that I can use to douse any of the areas.
Well, they anybody that's like running around right now, they look at you and it's like, can you help? Do you have any spells? Like, what can you do?
Create water is the most obvious on hand. Plus, I can use healing magics if necessary, if there is any need for that.
Then what the hell are you talking about? And get to work. We have buildings to save.
Yeah, well, I have been, but I'm just
That's one of the villagers shouting at you.
If Todak's near, can Todak be nearby for that?
Sure.
Now, I'm going to wait to see how Dusk handles it, but Todak will be close by. And Todak is just peering over a piece of rubble, his eyes getting very squinty at the human.
her response was, "I have been." I just was expecting a little bit more help in discerning what areas needed the most attention. If you
Buildings
have
that
any
are
idea.
barely touched by the fire, buildings that are currently on fire and are at risk of spreading, stuff like that. Go, go, go! They see you. They see you. They see you in your armor, and they see that you're
Alright.
covered in soot and stuff. But they're
Alright.
not here for pleasant talk. They're trying to push you on because they in their state of panic,
Alright.
they just need this to go.
Okay, so basically what you're saying, good sir, is that you literally have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I'll assess the damage from the sky and try to determine which areas need the most help. I'll come back and let you know where to focus your efforts. And with that, she jumps into the air and starts flying and gets a bird's eye view.
Todak slowly puts away the sword.
It's a goddamn bullshit adventure flying out here trying to tell me what the fuck to do. And he just goes right back. He just goes right back to trying to get water to put fires out.
Well, unless Todak can find people that are actually trapped in stuff, he's not exactly going to start fighting a fire.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me. It's Todak.
I mean, not that I don't. Well, hold on a second here. I have no way with which to fight a fire unless I can make it bleed. So I'm just kind of hopping about, making sure no one's trapped.
I
Yeah,
have
well-
prestidigitation. I can just snuff out a small campfire. It's not going to help much.
I mean, you could stop places that just got caught on fire just a little bit.
I think for the time being, Auntie Karen's going to run back to the inn, grab her dog and her cart. I guess.
And the head.
Well, I think the head's already in the cart, but I'm going to just take my pack horse and just have free it, push it in the direction of outside of town. Just let it roam free now. Then I'm going to grab my car and just try to run around the city, try to find any women, children, elderly, sick. Just try to get them evacuated.
Hey, can we change the map for me? I'm still on the weird burning map.
Me too.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought I'd change you guys over. Okay. No, you definitely can. Give me. I need to figure out the check here.
I have
Query.
Give me a persuasion check.
Who?
Yeah, there we go. For the most part, yeah, people do agree to try to leave the village. Those that aren't, in a complete state of shock and panic, and that aren't trying to help put out the fires, they go along with you and they start getting out of the town and try to get other people out.
Okay. I have 7 total spell slots that I can utilize for create water, and I can deploy it from the air above the hotspots.
Yep.
However, I would prefer to save at least a few for healing magics should that come up.
Okay, so how many is a few? 3, 4 out of your 7?
When I do my first fly through, I'll make a quick assessment as to how much uh, living damage it has happened, and make an assessment from there. If I'm going about and there isn't a collection of people being pulled from wreckage that needs healing, then I'll have I'll have more use for water spells. But if we start developing uh, groups of people that require medical aid, then she's likely to save some of her power for healing. It's a loose plan that's going to depend on how things pan out, if you get what I'm saying.
Yep. Well, give me another perception check since you're in the air now. How high up in the air are you?
Not too high up because my eyesight isn't that of an eagle. So above the flames and the smoke, but not so high up that I can't see clear.
Okay, well, give me a perception.
Perception.
Uh,
There we go.
again, there doesn't seem to be. I mean, there's probably a few people that have like minor scrapes and bruises, but there's no one that's being pulled from buildings. It's just people that are putting out the fires that are the closest to them right now. They managed to
Okay.
drag whatever people they could out of buildings and leave them on the
Then
streets. So,
then she will focus her attention on uh, buildings of high usefulness, places that people can congregate and stores of resources, schoolhouses, uh,
storage houses.
stores, storage houses, places that can be used for recovery, and then move on to the lesser useful buildings afterwards.
Well, with your efforts and the efforts of those that are around, you guys actually do manage to snuff out the fires of the buildings. Again, the reason why the fires started in the first place, and you would know this, is not so much that there's a continual fire going on right now. Yes, that's going to cause some problems in the holes, but those can be filled in. It was the initial blasts and the rush of the fire that came out after the entire cavern was engulfed in fire.
Yeah, I was gonna ask a question.
Yes.
The well that we used to both bomb and to escape from, is that where they're getting their water from?
No, they're creating it because the well is gone.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Okay, so they're either going to have to get water from a new place or there's a river nearby.
There is. They're going to have to do a lot of rebuilding.
Yeah.
Well,
Todak is still looking for wounded at, though he's not being quite so adamant in his quest.
They went in the well and they set off a bunch of explosions along with a bunch of oils down other holes, and they made a big firebomb to try to shoot this guy out. And it didn't. It worked, but it didn't work. All right. Well, with the fire starting to finally die down, at least for the buildings, people start to gather by the well in the center of town. Those that actually have their wits about them, to look around and try to talk amongst themselves and assess the damage.
okay.
Do we? So, I guess we're all gonna get back together for this.
Yep. Now you guys can absolutely join them in the center, or you guys can just try to leave. That is up to you.
I intend to join them because I may want to stay here and help them dig out a new well on the morrow.
Todak grumpily gets onto one of the buildings that isn't burning or burnt down at all and just sits and watches the center.
Okay, and Karen.
She's gonna probably stay with the people that have left the least on the outskirts of the city, just like taking care of those who were like wounded, burned, scraped by any like just like panic that was going on. Just want to stay with them for now.
Okay. Dusk, those that you see that are staying in the town, besides some older people that clearly have seen some stuff, you can tell that while they're not at your level, there are a few people that would be classified. Sorry, itchy leg. As
There are.
Adventurers. They've gone through stuff as well. They have like obviously they have magic, they have abilities, and they're all sitting there just discussing amongst themselves what to do.
Okay, I'll listen in. I want to get a sense as to whether or not their elders or whatnot have decided to try to rebuild or move on. I know if they do move on, it's going to be a little rough on the elderly and the young.
From what you glean from what they're talking, they do want to rebuild. Like, they've built lives here. There is still a lot that was salvageable, but there's people that like they're looking around, especially around here, and they just take a moment and look at the dead that are around them, and then their eyes kind of focus onto you.
She just kind of nods and will go about seeing to their rights.
Like, are they fresh dead bodies, or are these just the dead bodies that the Hydra left lying about?
These are the bodies that the Hydra left flying about. The viscera, the goo, the bones.
Welcome back to the world of the conscious. Bit of a nightmare,
Yeah,
isn't
right.
it?
Mm-hmm.
They stare at you as you start doing rites, and they just look for a moment. It's like, our memories are a bit hazy, but when did you get here?
About
2 days?
You're on top of a building.
Yeah. Todak just sits there.
actually refresh my memory. How long were we here before we
2 days.
dispatched the 2 days?
Yep.
Yeah.
She said, well, yeah, she says, we got here about 2 days prior to lifting the haze. It took us a while to figure out what was going on and how to fix it.
And how exactly did you fix it?
We killed it.
And this fire that is now burning out of all these holes is one of its last ditch efforts to try and kill you?
No, not really. That was a byproduct of the battle that ensued. Not sure how to stop it or to have prevented it. I don't know that we could have. I will
Really?
say this. There is I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you have a coal deposit below your city, your town.
A coal deposit.
Yeah, it's part of the reason why the town was burning or continued to burn. At least it's my understanding. I'm not educated so much in that respect.
It does take quite a bit to get coal to burn. You understand that, right?
No, I don't fully understand that, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, it's not like you light a match and place it near a piece of coal and all of a sudden you've got fire. It takes a bit to get
She
heated up.
she grins, and taps her shield and mace and says, "No, I get that. I get that you understand these things, but my expertise is in religious history and hitting things with a mace.
Clearly never started a cold campfire or barbecue.
Nope, I have not.
So
I've started a wood one before.
so you were down in this hole, and you or one of your compatriots just decided to blast off a lot of fire without realizing that you were in there?
Why are they
More
trying
along the
so
lines-
hard?
Because with what they just came out of, they're incredibly suspicious of somebody they don't know. It doesn't matter that they're trying to help. After everything that they're around, they are suspicious because they don't know if this is just some sort of other illusion, if they're under some sort of spell, or if somebody is actually the cause of this and did this maliciously. They don't know. They don't know what's going on.
So they're going to fucking first thing out of their haze, they're going to bitch and moan to the religious icon of a major city.
This,
And okay, you know what? That's fine. Let him do that. Todek's just sitting there twitching, uncontrollably annoyed, as he's wondering if whether or not it'd be easier just to kill them all and be done with it and blame the whole thing on the Hydra.
for the record, you don't know these people's religious views. Like, some of these people could just be not religious at all. They could absolutely hate religion because,
That's great.
hell, look
Yeah,
at everything that's gone down.
Perfect.
God's
And they're still
abandoned them.
scumfucks for fucking blaming the people that saved them. Anyway.
She says that actually, I refresh my memory. I don't remember how the fire started. Oh, we set a bomb off in the hotel.
You
We
set a
had
bomb
to,
and a bomb and lots and lots and lots of oil.
well, we had to flush out the Hydra and not give it a chance to try to eat our memories. So honestly, I'm gonna
Okay.
say this is kind of a brand of hunting.
She says to the individual that the efforts to save your village from what was inflicting it is a little bit more complex than I am willing to discuss out in the open with, pardon the being blunt, but the layperson. If you have some elders or leaders of your town that would like to step forward and we could discuss in private, I'd be happy to answer any questions that they have. But I won't be berated for doing my part to save your town.
And while we appreciate that you did lift this haze as you claim you have, there is
All right,
still the matter of
I've
the
had enough.
fire. Yes.
Yes, I've had enough. You're welcome. Uh, if there are any that need my assistance in my healing prior to me leaving this town, do step forward. Otherwise, you seem to have this in order. We will go about our business. Good day.
Yeah. If anybody needs help, we'll be sure to send them your way, but I think we'll be okay.
Very good. In
Jackass.
the meantime, do look into the coal mine underneath your town. It may be a source of wealth for your community. Get it back on its feet.
Yes,
And
the
be
perpetually
a little bit
burning
more.
coal.
I'm sorry, I only heard half of that. I was talking
Something
over
about burning coal.
He said, yes, the perpetually burning coal.
you. You have
Well,
magics. Snuff it out. Find a way. You said you're capable. Figure it out.
Todek is just thinking about whether or not he should do another firebomb.
Did you use up all your bombs?
I have one left.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You only used one.
I used one wrapped in a lot of oil.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
At the end,
she's had enough of them.
With the end of that conversation, Todak will hop away along the roofs towards Auntie Karen's place.
That being said, she isn't going to stop helping those in need. She's just not going to tolerate being uh, disrespected, I guess you could say.
Disrespected, accused of burning down the entire village. You know, depending on how you look at it.
Was that the gentleman who was talking to Dusk? Was that like the leader? Or was that like just the asshole that was the loudest?
You're not sure. You could tell that he looked like he could take several punches or stabs or shots from an arrow.
Or one grenade under his bed?
Or two. The guy was big. You might mistake him as a half orc.
Cool.
Or Goliath.
Anyhow, Auntie Karen. Let's go check on her.
Sounds good.
I need someone to blame. It's not that it's my fault. Yeah, you guys can easily spot Auntie Karen, especially from the sounds that Among Us. Especially from the sounds of the people that are like wailing, crying, screaming incoherently.
Yeah, well, we try to help those that need it. And if there are wailing, crying, and screaming, then it sounds to me like somebody needs help.
Well, you don't see anybody injured, just people that are, you know, like
That's
again, they're
physical,
in the
we can do.
like they are. There's not physical healing that you can do.
These people are coming
But
to the
there's
realization
comfort
that
in
they
it.
walked around, yeah.
Yeah, they walked around and are covered in the juices of dead people and loved ones.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure
not in the fun
that
way.
by the end of this, we actually, all of us look like we're in a battle too. So it's not like we are clean and fresh either.
No. Except for maybe Auntie Karen with prestidigitation, but who knows what Auntie Karen's doing.
Todak actually
I
didn't take a
really
hit
think
in that
Auntie
frickin'
Karen
fight.
would.
Yeah, no. Auntie Karen looks like she's been like gnarled. She's not looking well, but she's still taking care of people before she takes care of herself.
And Todak, while you may not have gotten hit that
Yeah.
entire fight, you are covered in soot.
I need
It
a bath.
singes.
You do need a bath. That is
Auntie
something that you need
Karen
daily.
uses prestidigitation to make herself look worse, not better.
Mm.
So, you guys meet up. What exactly are y'all doing?
Todak is examining the
Once,
materials we have left over from the Hydra.
Well, you got a head, you got, if you can find it, you got teeth.
and what's more important is that we have our memories back.
That you do.
How do we go? Okay, you two. Where do you think we should go from here? Back home? Report?
Our job is complete. The Ponzi Pons will be very pleased that it was completed, but he may have issue with the way it was handled. Suffice it to say, our job is done here.
Maybe. But you know, situation being as it is, the gamble we played would have had much less dramatic effect or side effects, I should say, had we known that there was a coal deposit below the city.
Indeed. But it's neither here nor there at this point. We have done our job. We cannot go back and undo what we have done. These people are mad about it.
Sure.
Let them be. They are alive to be so.
They're not. They're only partially mad about that. They're just mad in general. They need a direction to focus their anger and frustration. This just happens to be the easiest our outlet. At least that's my take anyway.
Well, it's not wrong.
Though there is something to be said about biting the hand that feeds you.
There sure is.
All right then, let's get back.
Perhaps.
I would say that we play, huh?
Nothing.
I would have liked to have spent the night because I'll be honest with you, I'm drained. But at the same time, I'm not feeling particularly welcome here anymore.
Well, as speaking from experience, Todak stays a lot of places where he is not welcome. Whether or not you are welcome is besides the point. You are needed here. And that's probably the closest Todak's going to get to empathy for a long while.
That's even that much is shocking.
Fair point. Well, kind of impressed. All right, let's wait till morning. Make sure that this place is in good hands and recovering, the way of recovering, and then we can head out.
Oh yeah, that'll go well, Todak. So are you going back to the inn, or are you guys going to be sleeping outside of the town?
Fuck that town. Todak sleeps outside.
Yep, Anna Karen probably not going to get a lot of sleep since she's taking care of the people that are over here, so she's probably going to just stay up all night, or at least only get an hour's sleep.
What does Auntie Karen even look like right now for these people to actually be comforted by?
Oh, they're not comforted. They're like again like these are people that you would have like recovered from like a plane crash, without injuries, or they just saw somebody start beheading people in the middle of town and they get covered in the viscera. Like these people are just you
basically
cannot
shell shock.
Yeah.
Anna Karen looks like she just walked out of a car crash.
Is she actually hurt? I want to say that I healed everybody up.
You're right, actually. I forgot you did use all that the aura vitality, so I'm probably better off than she's not at least bleeding everywhere. She's probably like covered in possibly like light scars, and then her toes are just like her clothes are just like mangled.
Her toes are mangled.
Still, our attire is probably covered in it's still. You can heal all the wounds. That doesn't stop the fact that you still look like you were hit.
Yeah, her white robes and white apron are very much stained red.
And black. Lots and lots of soot from the fires you guys escaped.
That too. Also, she is walking around with a limp, though she's been doing that all day.
Come to expect things like that, though. That seems to happen on a daily basis.
As long as it didn't affect your fighting abilities, I don't think anybody cares.
Well, but there isn't anything you can do about it.
Yeah, it did. I lost 10 feet of movement speed the entire day.
Lovely.
Well, it didn't fight your ability. It didn't change your ability to fight this time around.
Yeah, true. I would have been able to get in there faster if I had my full speed.
True. Well, there's the yappers.
All right, time to. I take it we've slept for the night.
Well, two people said. Well, one person said they're sleeping outside. Karen didn't say where she's sleeping. Neither did Dusk.
I'm sleeping in the camp that Todak sets up.
Todak sets up a nice little simple camp. No fires because I think we've had enough of that for today.
Okay, and Karen, you're staying outside as well.
Yeah, I'm at the makeshift safe zone that I've set up, and then I'll sleep for like an hour or so.
Todak will make sure to stay close by Auntie Karen too, but away from the people.
So you're gonna sleep for an hour. Are you going to be, like doing the actual like resting or no?
A short rest, basically.
But
At least thematically. So I'm still like taking care of all these people. I'm just like eventually she just sets up her tent, goes in there to fall asleep. She no longer focusing, so she does like her hideous appearance to expand, whatnot. But after she has her little dog basically keep watch over her, and then eventually after an hour she wakes up and gets back to work.
so you're not taking a long rest at all, just a short rest.
Yeah, she'll take a long rest later.
All right.
Sleep when you're dead.
Probably doing the similar. Would take shifts as to once things have calmed down in the city or the town, I should say, and we set up our camp on the outskirts. I'm assuming that we make it known that should there be more need, should there be a need for us, how they can find us, where we will be, and throughout the day we take rests while we can, and if people show up in need of aid, we tend to them on a need by need basis.
Well, that's fine. I was more wondering about what you guys are going to be doing for the night. It seems like Auntie Karen ain't doing a long rest, so are you going to be doing a long rest?
That really depends on whether or not we get interrupted. I can attempt a long rest, but if anybody shows up in need of aid, I will not turn.
Todak might.
Well, it does seem quiet at first, but people do start to come down from the city one by one. Like they seek you out, not for physical aid, but more for the spiritual. There are a few people that obviously are not as skeptical as the ones you talk to. Some people that were nowhere near the fires, and they are aware of what happened, and they're mostly out of their shell shock state, but they're seeking spiritual guidance from anything or anyone that'll offer it, and that actually happens quite a bit throughout the night.
That's fine. She was be more than happy to help out.
All right.
Your magical abilities being probably depleted or very close to it, having because due to the fires that she was fighting. Most of it will have to be just call it skill checks and stuff.
Well, again, they're not there for physical aid; they're there for spiritual aid.
Yeah, religion.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
which
Persuasion.
you don't really need checks. They're just there. They look at you and they're just like, they need talk. Like they talk. They need to like they want.
They need comforts.
Yeah, any sort of comfort that you
Social
can
comforts.
give, whether it's true or not, just to kind of help them get over this. Something that, like a priest would offer in times of need
Yeah.
like this as well.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to.
Todak would.
I will. Yes, well, she's not going to lie. She would give them the comforts. She would do her best to comfort them, but she isn't going to lie to them.
That would be a great time for like a religious sermon.
Yeah, there you go.
As And Karen's in the background breaking out her herb pouch and just giving people drugs.
Tell
Here.
them.
Everyone's getting high and preached to. Oh, good.
Yeah, she can do religion. I'll do religion for those that need it.
Ouch.
Yeah, there's a few people. Again, like it's not happening all at once. Like
Right.
they show up kind of like one at a time, sort of like the ones that are in charge right now, or at least put themselves in charge, because
Yeah.
a lot of people
Well,
died.
her portfolio apparently is healing, the easing of suffering, and freedom. So, I mean, those are her talking points.
Those are good talking points. I actually regret Todak not having social skills.
No, you don't. Don't
I
fucking
really
lie
do.
to me.
I do a little bit, but at the same point in time,
Hey.
it's made for such an interesting character.
Every there's a phrase for this. There's a word for this phrase. Everybody has their moment of genius, even the idiots.
Thanks.
And not saying that he's an idiot, but if you take that and apply it to other areas, even a non-social person can come up with some pretty profound social interactions every now and then. If you
I've
get what
already
I'm
thought
saying.
about murdering 6 people since I've been in this game.
And I am impressed that you have refrained.
Also, I was gonna say it's Rex. He's an idiot.
Also, fuck you.
We're the same person. We're both idiots.
Ew. Ew. Todak's
We're
gonna
all
wander
idiots.
off and start collecting things from it with his herbalism kit. See if he can find fucking fixie medicines to help Auntie Karen do her thing.
Then give me survival. You find a few, nothing really special, but stuff that can be used towards stopping bleeding. Something that you think might be mint or lavender to smell nice. Stuff that
So
you
that
know
you
isn't
use.
good, but you know that other people like it.
There you go. I was gonna say if that rubs off on Todak, I'm gonna find some poop.
You keep it at arm's length. But yeah, you guys are going to be spending your night doing that, or Todak, are you going to be sleeping?
Todak will sleep. He has less concern.
I'm
Todak will
hoping to
sleep.
get at least a short rest out of the whole deal, but I
With
doubt
those
that
that
she will get enough.
with those that come by, you do manage to at least get a short rest, but you unfortunately do not get a long rest.
Okay.
So, points of exhaustion, except for Todak.
Because Todak gives how many fucks?
0.
Yay!
But morning comes, and it's a very bloody dawn, as smoke and soot still hang in the atmosphere, and kind of like it actually affects the color of the sun rising. Todak needs water more than he needs coffee.
Well, since I have neither,
He probably got doused pretty good during that firefight anyway. So
Todak needs a full soak, or else it doesn't really benefit him anything.
Yeah. Plus, he would have had to be in areas that are currently on fire and not just, fucking off like I expect Todak to do.
So, can we still generate a bucket of water for Todak?
So if you can't use survival to find a lake or river,
I'll
then
find one later then.
I can use I'm trying to figure out how many spell slots I've used during that fight. I said I wanted to save some for emergencies, but
Yeah, I have an idea. I'll just after waking up, I'll say, Todak, come into my tent.
Todak has absolutely no reservations about this whatsoever and goes.
Okay, just stay in here as long as you feel like it. As she just closes the flap on the tent, and more or less just like puts her lips to the tent and just like breathes like as the tent fills with steam.
Ooh.
there you go.
A good hot soak, opening those pores so more poison can get out. Good, good.
You're not touching Todak at all, are you?
No,
Okay.
No one touches Todak.
Except for Dusk.
Dusk has gloves.
Just does have gloves.
I'll probably have to decontaminate my tent afterwards, but for now it's fine.
Oh, Todak actually comes out after about 10 minutes and actually looks cheerful.
Well, for the record, you need an hour.
I do not need an hour, do I?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, look at that. For an hour, I just sit in there and meditate for an hour.
I had to double check because yesterday in game time, you never got into water for an hour at all.
No, I did not. So it would have been a level of exhaustion.
Yep.
But I fixed that by sleeping.
Well, actually, because of your water dependency, it's only through magic or the water in an hour. So you were in the water for an hour.
Okay, cool. Either way
Yes.
works.
You really need to buy yourself a barrel.
I had a barrel, but it was full of explosives.
No, a
Yeah,
water
I
barrel.
was thinking Dusk can create. I saved 2 spell slots for healing
Good.
aura, and I could theoretically use a higher level spell to create water for you if need be.
Well, need not be anymore. Oof.
Go drink a Red Bull.
Ooh, Red Bull. I'll be right back.
How long is it? I remember when he tried to quit. I do not help him. Alright. Well, you guys are now. Well, you've been awake. But it is daytime. What exactly are you going to be doing around town? Because people are no longer coming to seek religious aid as they are staying in town now.
I say we leave. Everyone pile
Yeah.
into the cart and Todak will pull it.
You have a dog, and it's not. I don't remember the cart being big enough to be pulled to have all that people inside of a cart.
It's a cart, so it weighs itself 200 pounds. It can carry enough people. And if Andy Karen was pulling the cart, it could carry about 1,000 pounds. No, it's minus 200 for the cart, so it'd be 800 pounds. But if Todak's carrying it, and he's probably stronger than Karen, he could probably carry more than that.
Feel like he's not.
How strong is Auntie Karen?
14.
16. Fuck you.
Yep.
Also, Karen, did you
then-
roll your D100 yet or no?
I haven't taken a long rest, so I'm going to crawl into the cart and then pass out.
Okay, you can definitely do that. So Todak, you're gonna be carrying the cart or pushing the cart, pulling it.
Pulling it.
Pulling most likely. I will help.
No.
I also have a 16.
You will sleep.
It's probably not a bad idea. But you being on your own pulling a cart in hostile territory sounds like a bad idea.
I am the hostile territory. Besides, you're right here. Todak wake you up if things go wrong.
Fair enough.
Hi-ho, Todak. Fuck off! And Todak starts taking the way back to the main city.
Remind me what your Slayer's Prey is.
You mean my favorite enemies?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Humans, monstrosities, and goblinoids. And soon that list will grow to include freaks. that aren't Auntie Karen.
Just wanted to double check that because I was looking for it. Well, you guys do manage to go, and you get quite a ways before night starts to fall. And it's a short distance. You could probably push like for another 15, 20 minutes. You see a small town in the distance as you head back to Listenberg. Now you can
I
stop.
believe I'm still sleeping.
At this point, you guys would have had your long rest. You guys would have had lunch. It was a very uneventful time on the road because there's not, because of the lack of travel right now, there's no one preying on caravans or anything like that. So it's a rather quiet road.
And Todak has no problems running along it.
Do you guys stop just before the town, or do you go into the town?
Listenberg?
No,
That's where we need.
That's where
Oh.
the Usenberg is the city. This is a town.
Todak will stop just outside the city to see if his comrades are awake.
Town.
What did I say?
City.
Whatever. Fucking. Is it? Did we pass this city, the town, on the way in here?
You think so?
What? I think so.
You guys
What do you
may.
mean? I think so.
You-
The fuck do you mean? Think so? I either passed a town on the way on this road before, or I didn't.
It's
remember.
sadly
You
not quite
remember.
that simple.
You remember a town, a small little town. But you guys were also being harassed by that creature at the same time, so you never really stopped to really check it out.
Okay, cool. So, yeah. Oh, I love these energy drinks. I don't know if I can give a shout out to the drink it is, but
No,
Todak's gonna stop just outside the city and gently wake the other two.
At this point, they'd be up because it's almost
Okay.
nighttime.
Yeah, Todak just hops up on the wagon's ledge there after chalking the wheels. Another town. Todak has no desire to be around people anymore. But
We
an
should.
actual bed might be nice for you too.
I'm fine, but thank you. We should probably still inform the town of what happened nearby. Maybe they can send a relief effort.
given that the troubles we've had with blundering into random towns, maybe it would do us well to scout the town out first before we walk into it. I could do it from the air. It's dark out, so it's not like they're likely to see me.
Todak doubts.
Well, I doubt if anyone sees an angel in the night, they won't be too bothered.
They might freak the fuck out. Because sometimes it's a herald of doom.
Seeing anything large flying in the air is likely to freak people out, but in this world, everything is likely to freak people out.
And then there's a little frog that could literally kill them easier than anyone else in this party.
Yeah, right?
Well, depends on what Karen throws at them.
Well, it's up to you.
Yes. I'm undecided.
Well, I'll go start making dinner for us.
Todak has no desire to go into another town, so he's just going to stay out here.
So let's do the camp thing then, and approach the town in the morning.
All right.
Sound good? I'll set up the
Mm.
bubble.
Bubble.
We can put the campfire on the inside, make the shell opaque so they can't see the fire.
All right, that's what you guys want to do. Then the dinner of rock legs. Yeah, you set up your little bubble off the side of the road, and you guys set up camp. And are you guys going to be doing watches at all, or are you just going to trust in the bubble?
The bubble has yet to
Watches.
fail us.
It's failed you once.
Oh, then yeah,
It's
okay,
failed
watches.
once.
But the guy also used an anti-magical grenade. Something that, is not going to be
Yeah,
easy to find.
To be completely honest with you, the bubble is not completely. It's not a perfect defense. There are ways to get. There are ways to counter it.
Oh, I
I'm
know.
not going to say what they are.
Oh, I know there's multiple
But
ways.
it
It's a
can
bubble,
happen.
it's a bubble, not a sphere.
It's not just that, but yeah, long story short, it's good as a level of protection, but you can't rely on it to be a perfect defense. So watches are still important.
Especially the higher up
Yeah.
levels you get.
I suppose then Toadette can take watch.
Right, well, give me perception checks in the order that you guys are going to be doing your watches.
I do believe that I am typically the middle
Yep,
because
I'll
of my
take
ability
first.
to see at night.
Todak, the ever bottom.
I thought I said I was first.
Yeah. I know what I said.
Fucking Toadette sees through space and time, asshole.
You're not Yalara. Although still, goddamn. Well, you do take your watch, and while there are creatures around, some, prey animals, wolves, a couple of coyotes, none of them actually get close to the bubble, as they can sense that there is a great danger if they get close.
Smart puppies.
They're still within arrow range, though.
They are for moments, but then they take off.
Best part of waking up is
So
Ender
we can
fucking drinks.
assume that I got full. You got a full, so I can.
Breaking up quite a bit, so I didn't catch any of that.
I was gonna say I heard assume, and then everything just went to shit.
We got at some point we got a full rest. I can
In the cart, yeah.
assume that-
Well, the wagon.
I can assume then I can replenish my spells.
Yes. Alright. Well, Todak's watch is done, so Dusk, give me a perception.
Bah.
Yeah, it seems pretty quiet. You hear animals off in the distance, but nothing close by. That you can tell, at least.
Nice quiet night. Good.
And lastly, Auntie Karen. As the sun starts to rise through the last of the watch, you get the feeling that there's something watching you, but from where you're not sure and what it is, you suspect probably a wolf trying to come by again, see if there's food but then the eyes quickly vanish, or the feeling quickly vanishes, and yeah, almost like it was just some sort of animal. Again,
During my
a quiet night.
during my watch, after the feeling's gone, I'll spend an hour summoning Mockback.
Okay, I was wondering when you were going to do that.
Yep, and also I'll just well, just after that hour, I'll just continue like looking around for the watch while petting my dog.
Okay.
My yet unnamed dog. You think of a name for him.
Yeah, a very uneventful night. Pizza.
Even pizza. Call it a spoon.
I have an idea for him. I just need to remember just the name for that character.
Yeah. Morning comes and everybody wakes.
Todak sleeps, Todak soaks. There is a lake or something, or a river close to this town, right?
Uh, Nothing big. You'd probably find a creek or something.
Hell, I'll take a puddle.
Oh, I could create. I have spell points. I can create.
There you go.
Yeah, what you need to get for Todak is a collapsible waterbed.
Thought we
Just a
already had.
wash
It
basin.
was like
Yeah.
it was a waterproof sack or something like that. We could fold up when we weren't using it.
Just a water pouch. Toad, just fill it with water. Todak slips in, and you just cinch it underneath his neck,
Oh,
and he
still
just.
portable, like a little portable, a little
My
portable tub.
God. You know, if we never threw out the water, that would become a very concentrated poison.
Yeah. Especially if Todak sleeps in it all night. Do that for like months, and then all of a sudden it's just like you get into it and you start to not get the effects because it's nothing but poison.
I mean, I mentioned that earlier. A barrel of Todak bathwater would eventually turn into a barrel of pure poison.
We're doing this now. We're getting a barrel.
Yeah, the problem with that is transportation.
Well, we have the wagon, so it's fine.
You have a wagon.
Maybe we'll find a barrel in this town that Todak likes enough. Speaking of, do we want to actually go explore the town, or do we just want to fuck it and go back to the city?
We could just eyeball it. How pressing is it to get back to town?
I mean,
I
the
mean,
job's done. We need to get paid.
yeah,
I mean,
there
and
is that.
I'd like to get the money before the Duke realizes how much damage we did.
As I said, we might want to inform the leaders here that the town nearby could use some relief efforts. And Karen saying this, her body is like jittering around, like something's crawling underneath her skin.
Charming. That is not a job for the Todak. You both know Todak's thoughts on the town over. But Todak will follow you.
Feel a little sorry for them, but yeah, let's finish the task at hand. We can pass in the process of passing through. If it seems as though that there is anything pressing at a glance, then maybe we can stop. But if it doesn't look as though any dire need, then we just keep moving.
All
You can
right.
usually tell. There's usually like a like an energy in the air. Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
All right.
The look on
So
their faces.
we might want to take a quick visit to the stables here to see if we can buy a new draft horse. We don't want to. It's rather rude to have Todak always pulling along the wagon.
Everybody gets 1. Now we get horse.
Avatar's freaking the fuck out.
Could get a pony. Cheaper. Just as effective.
How broke are we to have to go choosing between pony and horse?
Pulls out a fistful of
We're not.
platinum.
We're not broke.
Good! Then we get 2 horses and we travel twice as fast.
You get a huge ass carriage.
You could, but
In the shape of a frog.
We call it the Frog King carriage.
Oh, my bits and pieces.
So you guys are actually going to go in the town and at least take a look around?
Sounds like we
We
need
can
at least some
pass through.
supplies.
Alright. Well, as you guys pack up and you head into the town, there's a few people there that take immediate notice, and one person kind of walks up, and you see that they're all, at least most of them are like halfling. You see a few elves or half elves. A lot of short people in this place. You can see why you didn't really pay much attention. There wasn't really anything to look at unless you look down, unless you're Todak.
Even some of these halflings are probably taller than Todak. How tall am I?
Oh, what the... Hang on. How tall
2.5 foot.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3.5 feet.
that's like bordering on tiny size.
It is.
Yep. Like, this is... Like, Todak is the angriest little ball of hatred.
Todak just has to sit down and spin.
What?
Never mind. Pocket Frog, go.
Hey, you throw me
Froakie, I choose you.
That would be a freaking bad day if someone decided to Pokemon me at somebody. Pokeball opens up and immediately evolves from Todak to Todoom!
That's the Mega Evolution.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Todak's basically that Krogunk Pokemon.
I said Froakie.
Krogunk. I don't know Pokemon. They're all just spikes and stripes now.
Yeah, it's a Krogunk, and then it evolves into Toxicroak.
Toxicroak.
I
Well,
guess,
at least
yeah,
that
that
sounds
does make
appropriate.
sense. I was gonna say Froakie because I know that one has a Mega Evolution of its final form. Hey, you guys head into the town, and the one that's staring at you just looks like, ah! I know why I recognize you. You're the ones that passed through here and didn't say a thing.
Sorry, we were a bit distracted. Some annoying fae.
Shut your whore mouth. He looks at you, it's like, ah, that's okay. May I ask your name?
People tend to call me Auntie Karen.
Well, what is your name?
Can I make an insight check on this?
Well, he never like said like, may I have your name? He asked for your name, like, you know, what is your name? He just wants to know your name. And Auntie Karen, for him, that's just like, it doesn't work for me. I want to call you by your proper name. You can absolutely insight check him, but that is that is basically how it was said. I might have said it a bit wrong, but he's like, yeah, no, I just want to know what the name is.
Yeah, yes, Auntie Karen like stops for a moment, just like closes her eyes and like looks up. It's like she's trying to think. Yes, Anita Karen. That's my name. You may call me Anita Karen if you do so desire.
Ah, yes, Anita Karen. Welcome to our small little town. And you, tall one in armor, what is your name?
You can call me Dusk.
And that is your proper name? It's a personal thing for me. I don't like calling people by nicknames that they give themselves or what other people call them. I like to call them by their proper names. I am a very humble person, and it is just, it's a thing from my region.
I understand. uh, think of it along the lines of a title. And if you respect other people's cultures, you'll call me by dusk.
I see, I see. And the small grung, yes, you, what is your name?
Todak just looks at him. Why?
So I can address you properly. You
can
seem-
call me Gr-
You seem like a very mighty warrior, and I would like to address you properly in the way you deserve.
His name is Froggy.
I almost had a thought.
Almost had a thought. This one is called Todak.
I see, Todak, yes. Again, you seem like a very powerful warrior. You must be respected properly.
No one has actually shown respect to Todak yet, so he's being a little off-put. He's had to threaten people in order to get where he needs to go. This is weird.
Yes. I understand you guys might have a little bit of suspicion. We did kind of see the thing that was following you. We didn't say anything because he comes here and harasses us a lot as well. But welcome to Kelna.
He did.
Hey, good luck killing him. He's yeah, we've tried it before. If we can't
Todak-
kill him, you can't.
Todak pulls out the false Hydra's head.
Ah, you bought one of those things. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the little floating annoying shit that you guys were talking to as you came through here.
Todak does not recall.
The annoying Fae.
Yes, that one.
Oh, yes!
But speaking of the head, we might want to speak with the leaders here. Some tragedy took place in the town over.
So you want to talk to the elders, do you?
Yes.
Well, they're having a private meeting right now, but I'm a little late for it. You guys can come with me. Come, let's go.
Alrighty.
Let's go.
He leads you to a what you can only see as a townhouse. It's a little fancy looking. It's definitely like, you would see a leader here that'd be staying here. Something a bit, bit more extravagant than what should be for a small town, but. And he opens the door and it's like, come on, let's go. The meeting's in progress. And like I said, I am late. Are you following him inside?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, Todak is going. We've determined that I've traveled on Dusk's shoulder before, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Todak
you
is just
can
going to ride
travel
along.
there again if need be.
Yeah, and he's going to keep his bow in his hands.
The guy looks, it's like, oh, you don't need to do that.
Todak has trust issues.
Yes, I understand, Todak, but again, you are a very powerful warrior. We will not do you any wrong here. On that, you have my word.
Todak just twitches. And he puts his bow away.
We have your word, but I don't believe we have your name.
I will not fall for one of my own tricks. Don't you worry. What you can call me, though.
Sorry, did he say that out loud?
Yes, he did.
I was right to be suspicious.
Yeah, I'm going to immediately hunter sense this guy.
Hang on, I'm trying to remember this guy's name. friggin'.
Oh, excuse me.
No, not that one.
I think I'm gonna crack open the news here real quick. Why do I don't want Edmonton. Anyway.
He looks. He's like, you may call me
Shit.
Puck, and you can tell that with your hunter's sense that this is a Fey being.
Todak, if I don't think we have a common language, but Todak immediately shifts on Dusk's armor.
She will
And
open the link to his head.
This one is a larger Fey creature, smarter than the small ball. I sense bad things are imminent.
Is there any more Fey creatures in here?
Todak will look around and use his sense 3 more times on other creatures that he can see.
Actually, hold on. I will cast. How many times can you do that?
4.
I can just cast a spell. Detect good and evil. 30-foot radius. Fey, fiend, elemental, celestial aberrations, or undead.
You can tell that within the 30 feet radius, anything you pass by. Oh, that's.
Yeah, but
that's
I
right,
have no
used
oil
all
for
your-
it, so I
yeah,
can't do
you-
anything.
Yeah, you used all your oil. Anybody that passes within that 30-foot radius lights up as Fey.
Okay.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, she will speak to Auntie Karen in her head, and she will say, everything around us is fed. Be guarded. And she will tell that to Todak as well.
I do have some iron filings we can mix into the black powder.
Yeah, if
You would need aluminum too.
if you're communicating in Auntie Karen's head, then you immediately get like the scene of the last town on fire.
You know, communicating psychically is not very nice.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You are right. It is right up there with hiding one's true nature from their guests.
Oh, I'm sorry. You only asked what my name was. You never asked what I was.
She smiles and she says, it's true, and you were not forthcoming with what you were prior to our encounter.
And I'm sorry, but you
No
go and
offense.
say exactly what you are every time you introduce you to someone, or do people just assume you're human from your looks? And
Why
you
would they
never
assume
correct
I'm
them.
human?
Because you look human. Besides your wings, you look
Reflex.
human.
She flexes her wings. She says, I'm not human.
Oh, just because you have the wings of a seraph does not make you not human just from your appearance. It just means that people will look at you and be like, oh my god, it is someone's religion. I must worship. Come at me saying I don't reveal my true nature.
Let me rephrase this. I'm not hiding who I am. But to be clear, I am not human either. I never was.
Yes, and I never said I was a halfling. And you're the one here now assuming that I've been hiding my true nature just because I never said I was a fae. Oh my god.
You are hiding your true nature. You look like a halfling.
This is
Not
my
like
true
a
form. What
Uh-huh.
do you want me to, what do you want me to do? Suddenly grow like,
This is a
you know...
moot point. Why are we arguing about this? Either take us to the elders or Todak is leaving.
Fine, let's go.
As we walking, Andy Karen's giving Puck the side eye. First with her right eye, then her left eye.
They're both on the right side of her head now.
You know you're not going to get stronger if you eat me. It's just not going to work like that. You've already done that once.
Todak is willing to give it a try.
Andy Karen looks offended. Offended and disgusted.
He leads you into a room, and you see a lot of people sitting around a table, and what appears to be an elf sitting at the end in a very regal manner, regal outfit, and a very nice chair. And he walks up and says, "King Oberon, I present to you adventurers!"
I'm sorry, did he say Oberon?
He did.
Todak leaves immediately.
Would you know who Oberon is, though? With Todak.
You may.
I mean,
I'm
you're
looking
a king.
for-
Give me a history check.
I don't even think Primeval Awareness might kick off real hard.
Auntie Karen, you kind of know something about Oberon, the king of the
Oh.
fairies. Todak, you're just like, who's this schmuck? Which is, I'm surprised that wasn't just your immediate reaction anyways.
Well, to be fair, that is okay. That really helps me determine how Todak will interact with this being going forward. And Rex is already rolling up a new character.
Dusk, you know that this is the king of the fairies. Like, this is not somebody that you walk up to and just be like, who the fuck are you, bitch? I will slap you with my bow dick.
I'm adding Faye to the list.
Okay.
The Faye are going on the list.
She is going to tell Auntie Karen in her head and Kodak that this being is not to be trusted or dealt with. Honestly, we probably should just turn around and leave.
He looks at you and waves his hand, and the door closes behind you. It's like, just sit and talk. We'll bring you snacks. They are gifts.
No, thank you.
Todak
We'll listen
doesn't
to
seem to mind.
your plea. If you are in need of help, we will listen to your plea, but we don't need any gifts.
Oh, we're not in need of help. You guys came to us. So please, sit.
No, we were passing through.
Well, you know, you came to us. Sit, eat. I know you have a request for us, and you're not going to just flee
Do
just
not.
because you suddenly found out about me being the king of the fairies.
King of the Fairies.
Okay.
Todak will hop down and sit on a table.
A woman comes over and brings you a bowl of water and with a cloth and starts to like dab your skin. It's like, we must keep you hydrated. Yes.
Todak just
So-
stares at her and swats her hand away. Todak has been able to wash himself for eons. You need not help him. So Todak just slips into the bowl and just puts the cloth over his body.
You are not here to be tricked. You are not here for us to take anything from you or do any sort of dealings that you normally associate with the Fae.
Todak does not care about what your dealings are. Todak just does not like being bathed by other people.
I can attest to that.
For this, you have my word that as long as you stay in the town this time around, you will not be harmed in any way. There will be no malicious intent. You are safe.
No offense, but it's my understanding that Fae don't typically have malicious intent to begin with. They just have a very unique way of seeing things that doesn't agree with mortal life.
And you
I
are
like
not wrong.
that.
And you are not wrong. However, I do understand your perspective on things and the perspective on mortal life. So, from your point of view, anything that would be malicious that you would normally associate with the Fae, it will not happen.
Okay. So why keep us?
Well, you have brought something interesting, something abysmal, and we
They
need to
sound
talk about
weird.
it.
They sound bored.
That too.
If you're referring to the Hydra head, then what information would you like to know?
Well, it's not a Hydra. It's something that's known as a false Hydra. And I sense that you encountered something else while you were fighting it. I can sense the energies on it.
Bag.
Ah! You encountered a bagman!
Oh yes.
Todak kind of quiets down as it is no longer his place to speak on the thing and waits for Auntie Karen.
You can see from Auntie Karen's disposition, she's going from silently seething to just utterly depressed.
Oh, Auntie Karen, why are you depressed? You can talk to Uncle Oberon.
My brother, I don't know when. No, 100, no. Where did Bag go? Oh, Bag.
Ah, you must be thinking that that creature was your brother, or associated with him. Unfortunately, your brother... Well, he's here, but you haven't encountered him yet.
Where is my brother?
This is going to get hairy, and it's going to get hairy quick.
Your brother is kept in Castle Martoris at the moment. He's not in good hands, but he's not in any danger.
Todak just kind of sits there in his bowl of now poisoned water, and he'll speak as casually as Todak does. You are very forthcoming with information such as this. However, Todak believes nothing is given without expecting something in return. Even a king of fairies would require some sort of tribute.
Well, you've taken care of a problem that was close to us that could have come over here. And while we are not as susceptible to its song as you mere mortals, aberrations in and of themselves are troublesome to deal with. We allow Auntie Karen here because Auntie Karen is... Well, she is fighting for, so far, at least the greater good. However, there is something that does need to be discussed, and you need to take care of it.
It sounds like you are proposing work for us.
Well, it's more cleaning up your mess.
Is it the Anna's hag we left that survived, that escaped? Where is it? Kill it?
Well, the Annis Hag you'll probably encounter at some other point. That isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the thing that you left alive. You might remember his name. Haggith Cag.
I killed him. What? No, did I kill him? I think one of us killed him.
Somebody cut his head off. I think it was one of you. I think it was this game where his head got cut off.
Yeah, I think I got knocked out by the end of the combat, but his head, it was rolling on the ground. What do you mean he's alive?
Well, you only messed up the ritual. You never stopped it. That
Todak does not like leaving work undone.
I didn't think you did.
Yeah. Neither do I. Especially if it's a threat.
Yes, well, while I don't know the specifics, I know that he is out and about. His existence now is something that is not trackable, except for that we know he's alive. Sort of. It's very complicated.
Clearly. I mean, if it's more complicated than cutting the thing's head off and assuming that it is in fact dead, uh, I don't know that we would have.
Well, he's still human-ish. Like I said, you didn't stop the ritual, you only...
Fucked it up.
Yes.
What sort of effect did messing it up have on the ritual? I assume that the outcome wasn't the intended outcome, that
Well,
something else happened.
did you find any sort of notes on a summoning ritual while you were out investigating?
I don't know, did we?
Todak vaguely remembers giving Dusk a book.
You did. You would have seen something that would have involved both notes on a lich and a phylactery, and on summoning a what was called in the notes a god. It was a god talking to him, and I'm using air quotes.
I don't have notes. on this.
You broke up. I didn't hear that.
I don't have any notes on that.
But that is something that you guys did encounter. It was incoherent at best, but you did have notes in a book on that on some sort of ritual. But the only details you could get were the sacrifices of humans.
Okay. So what is it that you're asking us
Well, again,
specifically?
you
We
need to.
are interested in finishing what we started. I assume, based on the fact that you're telling us about this, that you are inclined to have this finished as well.
Yes, this is a being that does not need to exist in your world. And more so, if it does get its power, if it does get back to full power, this world will end. It is quite unfortunate,
Lovely.
but that aberration
Yeah.
needs to die.
Okay. Well, we were under the impression that we had already killed it. If we are going to tackle this being again, do you know of a more effective and permanent solution to dealing with it?
Well, now that it is in this world, it is bound by the laws of this world. Unlike certain creatures that are practically immortal, this thing does have a physical form, and therefore it can at least be sent back to the realm in which it came if you can destroy that form.
I thought we did.
You attacked and slayed the human, but he was fresh enough dead that this being with its little power could stitch its head back on and breathe life back into it.
What?
Concerning. When Todak kills a thing, it should stay dead.
Yes, well,
Exactly.
you've obviously never heard of undead or other things like that. That happens quite a bit after you kill mortals.
I should have done the same to him that I did the green hag, which, as I remember, after that fight, Karen took that cauldron that they were performing on and just started smashing the green hag into a fine.
Paste.
Yes,
Yeah.
basically. Should did the same thing to Haggis.
And yeah. But he looks at you and is like, yes, well,
Ifs and buts, candies and nuts.
yes. If it didn't have the host of Haggith, it would have just moved on to something else. At least you guys have a face to put it with. Instead of just me telling you, oh, there is a child running around with this thing in its head.
Have you been tracking it?
You don't listen, apparently. I said we can't.
Hmm.
Well, how do you know that it's still up?
Because we can.
Magical sense.
The frog
Is
has
it
it right.
tracking?
We know it's here, but we don't know where.
Do you have an idea and even the slightest idea of direction?
Well, if we knew that, we would point you in it.
Okay,
As
well,
Todak
that was what I was
understands
asking.
it, we will have to abandon whatever else we are doing to find this creature. Or look for it while we do other works.
As things
We're
are.
under.
Yes.
I was going to say that we are currently under obligations to complete the task that we were given, which is why we were walking through your town.
Yes,
Your
you're
town
heading
being
back to Listenberg.
Yes, well, your town being conveniently located on the road, we apologize for interrupting your daily affairs with our presence. Uh, might I suggest that if you would like to avoid interaction with random people, that you move your town off of the road, perhaps?
Well, you seem to think that we are bothered by people coming and going. I mean, we sell and trade goods, we play tricks on people, and also this place is sort of an in between area. You're not quite in the material world, but you're not quite in the Fey world either.
Ugh,
You can come and go as you wish once I allow you to leave this room, but again, it's not quite the material world, it's not quite the Fey world. It's just a place that is where the barriers are broken down and we can
Visit.
exist.
yeah. I don't fully understand that sort of stuff, but we do seem to run into all sorts of weird magical uh, phenomena.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, that too. So I suppose we should be getting used to this.
You really should, especially after fighting a false Hydra and uh, whatever happened in that the mines. You really should be used to this.
Well, can you ever really get used to it?
Not probably. You just gotta get numb to it, and it should be there by now. Todak seems pretty used to things.
Todak is phased by little, except people trying to bathe him.
Yes,
Kodak
well,
also tends to kill things that he doesn't like.
Thus gets it.
That won't really work in this town, but he's welcome to try. Some people like the
No,
challenge.
he's not. Kodak he's not welcome to try. Let's keep it civil. I would rather not to deal with the consequences.
Todak can't even spell the word consequences.
We'll get you a book for that, Todak.
Todak, you think Todak could read? Ha 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 ha!
You may be unpleasant, but you're not stupid, Todak. You can read.
He's not stupid, but that doesn't mean that he's highly educated. He may not be able to read.
Todak knows enough. Books help nothing. That's not entirely true. Books can stop an arrow.
That is true. It can double his armor if you wear enough of it and wear it right.
It's
Well,
also insanely heavy.
I feel like another gift is in order, but this one is consequence free. There is no strings attached to these gifts.
Todak eyes the Lord, but continues to bathe in the bowl.
Again, you have my word as king of the fairies that there are no strings attached to these gifts. Tell me what it is you wish, and you will have it. Within reason, of course. Don't be asking for...
Phenomenal cosmic power.
Yes.
How about immunity to fey trickery and spells?
That goes along with the phenomenal cosmic power.
Of course it does.
I figured that would be within your purview.
Well, normally, but like I said, I'm giving you more items.
Personal items and boons.
Yes.
Um,
Within reason, if you can think of it and if you want it, I will give it to you.
Bag.
weapons. Hag. You want a hag?
No,
Bag.
she wants her
Bag.
sibling back.
Oh,
Well, I can't give you your sibling back, but I can give you items that could help you get him back.
like a bag
Or a portable hole.
or a portable hole.
I have a wagon.
But there must be
I feel-
something you guys would like.
I'm sure
Oh.
there is, but I'll be completely honest with you, and no fault of your to you, but I was raised to have a healthy respect and, should I say, how do I put this? Apprehension, fear of the Fae, that they cannot be trusted. As I said, I was always under the impression that your intentions weren't necessarily malicious, but even you at play can be deadly.
And this is not play,
And
this is
as
not...
such, thinking clearly when your brain and your mind is constantly on alert, high alert for threat and trickery, uh, doesn't lead to being able to think clear enough to figure out things that we might want. At least not right now. If you can understand my meaning. Need
mortal
time
minds are a
to,
very
you know.
weird thing. Well, you are welcome to stay here for the day. Don't worry, that being is not going to miss you if you take an extra day to get back, and no one is going to know what exactly transpired in the town because, well, they aren't exactly going to be having enough time to send a messenger to be like, oh no, these adventures burned our town down.
To be fair, that was the Hydra's fault.
And to be fair, you didn't need to set off an explosion in a well and set off a coal mine, even if you didn't know it was there. But
As a
I'm
creature
not...
who enjoys mirth and joy, I thought you'd appreciate an explosion of that magnitude.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I absolutely loved it. I loved watching the whole thing. But other people probably didn't.
Other people don't know what they're missing.
Well,
As long as we have
Yeah.
their very king's offer of protection, I see no reason why we cannot take them up on their offer.
regardless, I still feel responsible for completing the task that we were set upon earlier in the first place. So, knowing that we didn't complete it, I'm likely to try to finish it anyway. However, uh, the help, insight, knowledge, and if there's rewards as well, then yeah, sure, great. But I'm just trying to be honest here. I am still very, very nervous and apprehensive about this entire thing.
And allow Todak to make the first request.
Absolutely. What would you like, Todak?
Quick out-of-game question. What are the limitations of this?
Well, they're, like, again, like, you're not gonna get, like, legendary items out of it.
No,
Okay,
that's
so
fine.
do you have a tier? It can only go up to a certain tier.
Like very rare, rare, uncommon.
Uncommon.
You could get a couple
super
of
ultra rare.
you could get like a couple of rare items. Maybe a very rare item. It just depends on what it is you're asking. Because there are some very rare items that are just like,
Okay. Um.
But I will allow you guys to
mean-
talk and discuss. I will be right back.
Okay.
I feel like
need
this is
get a
gonna go
glass.
strangely.
Also, everybody hydrate.
Yeah, I need to get a glass. Hold on, I'll be.
I think I've already figured out what I want. If I don't think they'll give it to me, but they might.
Okay. Let's see.
I wonder if they'll do it. Nope. Shit.
To
Oh, nothing. Just figuring out what it is I want. Todak wants to be the strongest there is. So we'll see if he'll do it, but I don't think he would.
up to very rare, he said.
Yep. The belt of fire giant strength.
My first instinct would be to go with utility, like a portable bowl or bag of holding. We are carrying a lot of weight, and
That doesn't shock.
that could be a problem.
Portable hole, bag of holding, or just Todak could carry everything if he gets the belts.
Hmm. Huh. I wonder if he can make stuff.
Probably could. I get the feeling that he can just literally conjure whatever the fuck it is he wants to make out of thin air.
Well, what I am interested in. Well, remember not long ago that I had talked to in one of the towns I discussed with an artisan having something made, armor,
Right.
custom fitted armor.
Yep.
Could just get that adamantine reinforced mithril armor.
I mean, adamantine is probably going to be easy enough, but I don't know if
Well,
that
it's
will.
a it's not magical
Right. It's just
by
it's
nature.
almost indestructible, but it becomes a great template to enchant from, right?
Well, yes, there is that, but well, mithril. Okay, so here's the thing. Mithril is its own thing, and it's quasi magical, right? Because it's very sturdy and very lightweight armor.
Hmm.
I.e., if the armor normally gives you penalties on uh, stealth checks, you no longer have the penalties. So it's
Right.
light,
It's-
physically, and so on and so forth,
So it essentially
which will
gives you
cut
full
down on
protection.
weight. Right, it gives you the same protection, but it weighs less and it doesn't impose penalties on dexterity checks. So there's the advantage of myth. Now you can add adamantium reinforcement to armor to make it so that critical hits so that you're what that does is make it so that you're immune to critical hits. That's
There
the
you
only
go.
thing that adamantium does.
Is it
And
immunity to
that's what I
critical
was
hits, or is it a chance to ignore them?
immunity to critical hits. And I assume that means immunity. Well, how is it worded? The suit of armor is reinforced with adamantine, one of the hardest substances in existence. While you are wearing it, any critical hit against you becomes a normal hit.
That's rough. But
It's
again, you're basically the frontline fighter, so that makes the most sense.
it's the but yeah, it's kind of why I wanted it. Because that's the biggest threat to a tank is a critical hit that freaking does massive damage.
True. Well, we'll find out when DM comes back.
Yeah. There is that. I mean, strictly speaking, it wouldn't actually give me a better armor class. It would just reduce how much weight I'm carrying and remove critical hits.
Which is still pretty major, but less so.
It's very major.
What was it that I was looking for? Yeah, Belt of Giant Strength would just raise my strength to a certain point.
Hmm.
It would make my it makes my Hulk form a lot more dangerous, but that's really it. Ultimately, I guess I'm kind of looking for more reasons to use it because my archery is just so much better than it, right?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. Depending on what they are, what the DMs. Well, no, this is fifth edition. And there was in third edition, bows could be designed to facilitate people with higher strength scores.
Yeah, that was the compound bow, but fifth doesn't have that.
Right. There are other options out there. I think.
Well, ultimately, like I said, I'm looking for more reasons to make the Todax beast form more viable.
Yeah. A charm that protects you from going savage.
Mm, I don't think that's gonna work. I mean, as much fun as that would be, it's literally just a 10 DC check. Like, there's no difficulty increasing it unless the DM decides otherwise. And my wisdom
Yeah.
save isn't the greatest, sure, but to fail it, I still need to roll a 6, a 5. I
Yeah.
need to roll a 5.
I hate to point this up. Point this out, I should say. Bring this up. The old saying, "If it can happen, it will."
Well, it did happen once already, and I thought that was pretty entertaining.
Exactly. It's the reason that I made the amulet that I wear to help alleviate a weakness. That doesn't remove the weakness, but it helps me to combat. But I mean, that was just an idea. It's not necessarily.
It's a good idea.
So you're interested more in wondrous items kind of thing?
I feel like wondrous items don't get enough of a spotlight these days. Everything's just straight magic. But
Amulet of health. Amulet of health wouldn't hurt.
I
mhm.
am
What's
back.
your constitution? Welcome back.
Yeah, we're just. I haven't heard anything out of Auntie Karen yet, as far as the things that they want.
I have an idea, and I just sent it to the DM.
Oh no.
I had my phone with me. You could have sent it to me when I was AFK.
I literally just found it.
Oh god.
It's
I'll
very
be honest
thematic,
with you.
at least. It was either that
Uh,
or I had the same idea as Todak, but I think this is more thematic.
I unfortunately have not given magic items a whole lot of thought.
You know, I'd allow that. So Rex, that item that one you sent me, is that the one you're gonna go with?
No. Give me a second here. I gotta find the right link. Bless you.
Thank you. And as I walked out to use the bathroom, I thought I smelled friggin' fermentation, like rotting wine. You know, the normal smell of wine. Then I forgot my mother is making a raisin and apricot cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the kind of apricots I want to be eating.
Mm-hmm. So I sent you a message.
Yeah. You know what? I'd allow it.
Okay. I have been given approval for the Belt of Fire Giant Strength.
My ideas seem tame.
Who cares about tame? Be wild about it.
This is sort of my way of making up for the lack of interesting items and stuff in the last little bit. So you can be a little nuts with it, a little nuts.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I've been
My strength score just went to
toying
a
with the
7.
I've been toying with that same concept in in my game as well, trying to find different ways to reward poor players that aren't getting rewarded enough.
Yeah. Well, the benefit for me is this is homebrew, so I
So
don't
is
have to.
mine.
Oh, not the one that we're playing.
No, the one we are playing is homebrew. It's not Adventure League. It's a regular module, but it's still homebrew.
Oh yeah. Well, what I mean is it's not a module, so I don't have to stick closely with it. Saber, the best you would get is a unicorn stuffy that if you lift up its tail, it would shoot out a rainbow laser. You're not gonna get one that poos out gold.
That would be pretty cool, though.
Sexy beam.
I was actually making a reference to, depending on which way you want to look at it, Borderlands or shit. I just had the name of the game on my tip of my tongue. Give me a sec. Red Faction.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a cat in that one.
Was it a cat? I thought it was a unicorn.
I think it was a unicorn because I liked Red Faction. I can vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it was a unicorn, and I just looked at the image. Oh my god, its face is.
Oh.
There's lag?
Yeah. Still drawing a blank.
Oh, not lag, delay. Well, take your time. Like I said, you have pretty much all day.
Is he able to create custom things, or
I mean, if you have a custom thing in mind, send it over and I'll approve it. Or not.
I'd probably be better off if I just told you what it was and ask him whether or not it's something he is capable of doing.
Like I said, just type it out because it'll be easier for my brain to look at it and know if it's good or not. Because that's how I process things.
I'll send it through Discord.
I don't remember the armor you were going to have made.
Sorry, spelling.
No, I mean I got it. What were the properties of that again?
Half the weight removes the effects would be half the weight of the armor, removes the penalties for stealth checks and immunity to crits.
Yeah, wait. So remove the immunity to crits, or you would still be immune to crits.
The properties would be half the weight of the armor, the removal of the penalty for stealth checks, and it grants immunity to crits.
Also removes the strength score to mean to wear the armor, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, strictly speaking, I think it. I think
think
that's part of the half the weight thing. The armor weighs less, so it doesn't require as much strength to wear it.
Yeah. Yeah. You were gonna make it, and that was gonna cost a lot of money. But in this case, yeah.
If he is able to enchant it so that it ends itself, so that I don't have to worry about having it fixed should it take damage, that'd be great too.
See, now that's just asking too much.
It will
Well-
mend itself once per day, and it
Out of
requires an
character-
activation.
Out of character, armor doesn't take damage in this game.
Yeah,
so
well,
that's kind of superfluous.
It technically can. It's just exceedingly rare.
yeah.
Though it's made of a mantine, so it's probably never going to take damage ever.
It depends on what you fight,
Right.
because
It
I
was
have
more
things.
of a, it was more.
Because
Yeah,
I
if
have been
we-
thinking of things for that.
If he starts sending like a wave of rust monsters against us, then yeah, we're gonna have to run. Well, actually, I'll be entirely fine.
Yeah, Todak too.
Oh. Hey, there you go. Protection from rust.
So instead of mending protection from rust, okay, I can go with that. I can be down to clown with that. All right. So everybody has decided what they want. So we will do the role play for it. Oberon looks at Todak and says, "Well, and what would you like?"
There is only one thing Todak requires, and that is strength.
I see. If you would mind getting out of that bowl, then I will give you exactly what you require.
Todak climbs out of the bowl, soaking wet all over the table.
The woman that handed it and was patting you down picks up the bowl and brings it to Oberon. And she sets it down in front of him, and he picks it up. And he drags his fingers through it for a moment before picking up and drinking the water that was inside.
Well, I mean, hey, there's fetish groups for that. Whatever works for Oberon.
He swishes it around for a moment, swallows it, and then he does a few hand gestures. And the same color that the water was, because it was no longer clear. It was,
Murky green at best.
yeah, a murky green mist starts to form in between his hands, and a perfectly fitted belt appears, and he gently lobs it towards you for something that you could easily catch without having to worry.
With
Okay.
their dexterity being as high as it is, you could probably catch things in the air that most people couldn't.
Yep. So Todak is able to grab it easy, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
And
like I
Todak
said,
throws
no
it
problem.
on.
when you throw it on, it sort of actually, like, as you like put it on like the front, the straps itself actually attaches to you as if it's, just like not like actually like attaches to your skin or anything, but it basically self fastens, and you feel a rush of strength enter your body.
And then Todak immediately steroids out. I've shared a new picture of him in the Discord.
Yeah, I saw that. Your physical form doesn't really change that much. You don't like change in color, but
Well, Todak's always been a bit green, but yeah. Point is, he's a muscly boy now. Fucking Jesus
Yep.
Christ, straight
And
up 7.
then inside your head, the belt says something to the effect of,
Fine now, buddy.
actually, what I should have done is given him a command word and taken it from Bleach.
Oof.
You know which one I'm talking about?
You shut up.
When
You know,
Ichigo
if I
tries to get
really-
his powers back.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there should have been. If I were smart about it, I would have taken the headband of physical perfection to bring my charisma score up to something decent.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be
I
Todak.
I had been. I was going to suggest the Amulet of Health, the one that would bring your your Constitution to 19.
Well, that or the belt of dwarven something. Dwarven kind. That would also get your constitution up.
Okay, Constitution's already 18, so I'm good.
No, your Constitution's 19.
That's even better.
Yeah, so that amulet wouldn't do you any good anyway.
All right. Todak has his thing, and he just the effects are immediate, right?
Yes. As soon
However,
as
I
it's
can-
on, it is immediate.
So Todak picks up a table with one hand and starts spinning it around on his finger, doing all those macho strength things. Yes.
And as far as you can tell, there are no negative setbacks. Again, it's self-fastened, but if you try to take it off, it will come off. There. As you can see, nothing bad has happened to your little frog friend. So who's next?
Nothing bad has happened to Todak, but something bad has happened to the world!
Fine. I've been thinking of buying a new apron. I needed one for some time now. She sort of pats her chest, and again, she's wearing that new apron she got, but she seems to have forgotten she has it.
Yes, that is definitely doable, though you might want to double up on your aprons because keeping that will definitely save your life. But
Double up.
he waves his hand, and the woman comes by and plucks a hair from you. It doesn't hurt; it's
Well-
just a single strand of hair.
She doesn't notice.
I have a question, if you don't mind, before you finish that incantation.
Okay.
Is it possible that if you're going to create this out of thin air, is it possible that you could take the apron that she has and add to it so
I
that she
mean-
doesn't need two?
It's possible, but you always want to at least have multiple aprons, anyways, especially when you're dealing with butchery.
Sorry,
And there's
I
also
thought-
reasons why he can't, why he will not modify that thing, or cannot. The strand of hair is brought over to Oberon, and he pulls it tight, and he does a few hand gestures. and magic starts to flow through it, and it turns into a black apron. However, as the apron starts to form, blood starts to appear on it. And as it is fully formed, he hands it back to the woman, and she brings it back over to Auntie Karen and helps her fasten it around herself.
Yep, and Karen will, I guess, realizing she's already wearing an apron, will take off the white one, put on the new black one, then put the white one over it.
And you are assisted by the
Positively
woman,
Grizzly.
and the woman that assists you, she does wait while she holds the apron for you to take the first one off. And you, Dusk, what would you like?
Something that will help me to protect my friends. I have in mind a set of custom-made armor.
He looks at you for a
Very,
moment.
very rich materials.
He looks at you for a moment. It's like, ah, I can see what you had in mind. That shouldn't be a problem at all. And the woman that took the hair from Auntie Karen walks up behind you, and you don't feel it, but she plucks a little feather from your wing
Expected that.
and walks up to Oberon, and he takes it and he holds it tight between his hands. And he starts chanting, and as his hands part, you see a ball of metal. And it at first you think it has the same sheen of mithril, but then it has that same tone of adamantine. And as he pulls his hands further and further apart, the metal starts to grow in size and take on the shape of full plate. When it is done, several people actually walk up and take the pieces and bring them over to you.
Oh, that's right. You're a cleric. You can have full plate.
Yep.
That's going to be a good
The
time.
only
fam.
problem was that full plate is exceedingly heavy with the
Now
high
it's-
mithril.
And now it's not.
They set it before you, and Oberon looks at it. It's like, and it will not rust.
He nods in respect and says, "Thank you very much."
You are very welcome. Now, when you do something for the Fae, you should always make sure that. Well, you should always know that we will be very respectful and kind, and we will not try to trick you, even if you don't know you've done something for us.
Yeah, I kind of heard that. Again, I mean no disrespect. I've always been led to
Guarded.
believe that it
Time
wasn't
for the bit dance.
right. You have to be guarded because trickery is trickery, and what one thinks is just a harmless prank, another could see as a devastating turn of events.
Exactly, and I've been guilty of some of those pranks as well. But in this case, you have the word of the Fae, and that is something not to take lightly. As once you have our word for something within a set time, that is binding. Just like if one of us says a certain 2 words that I will not say. Yeah, you know what's up, you fucker.
Because well, that's because Rex knows how to deal with Fae.
No, it's because of what happened last time when you dealt with Faye.
That was my bad, yes.
Actually, no, that was my bad. I didn't even think of it when we were talking. He just said thank you. It was like, oh shit.
Yup. And that was and I don't think he's called in that favor just yet. So
No, he
we'll
did.
see. What did I say?
The bow.
Oh yeah. Aw.
Yeah.
The thing
Oh, well.
is that how Fae react and interact and how they behave and whatnot is really sketchy because everybody has their own opinion. So it like as an example, the stuff that you guys have been talking about, I've never heard of that before.
What, the saying thank you?
Yeah, all of the wordplay. Never heard of that.
Ah.
Hmm.
Well, for one, out of character, and I don't know if your character would know this, but if somebody
No, she
asks
probably-
what your name is, or if may I have your name, and you say your name, you lose your name.
Yeah, except that. Yeah, that doesn't really make any sense.
That's why you say you may
Um,
call me
I-
by blah.
Yeah.
That being said,
I've heard the only time I've ever heard that is from Spirited Away.
But it is an accepted thing.
yeah. If they also like, may I have your attention? That's also a good way to lose something.
Yeah, it is very, as Lunar says, it is a. The Fae take words extremely seriously and literally, and they use that in the prank sometimes. But there's also ways to deal with Fae that are stupidly simple, like dropping salt in front of
Cold
them.
Iron.
No, like dropping salt in front of them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, those rules don't actually. That doesn't work in D&D.
Maybe
Again.
not. Maybe not by Rob,
Neither.
but
Yeah, when dealing with Fae and devils, mind your words.
Yeah,
we're not. Again, we're not playing
Cold
Raw, so.
Iron is supposed to.
So if you drop a bunch of salt in front of a Fae, it's gonna sit there and start counting each individual grain, and it's gonna look at you, and the second it's done, it's going to murder you.
Same with vampires, actually.
I haven't heard that for vampires.
I know wordplay is a big deal with vampires. Like you can't,
Yeah.
they can't attack you if they can't attack you in your home unless you invite them in.
Yeah.
Yep, they can't cross moving bodies of water.
Yeah.
Cannot
There's
cross
i-
thresholds.
Insanely.
The moving bodies of water is actually dependent on the lore because I've seen it ignored quite a bit. Either, and I don't know if that was an original part of vampires.
Yeah,
is.
it's I think it's depending on type of vampires, but I think it's more of the Chinese ones that can't move across water.
Yeah.
No, no.
It was the counting things. That was a XP to level 3 video I've watched about vampires, so it might not be entirely accurate.
The very first old black and white vampire movie, and that's how they killed him. The vampire was killed because it
Yeah, but that was a
melted in
Nosferatu.
water.
That was a Nosferatu, so that's a different type of vampire than your standards.
Well, the generations of vampire lore has twisted and manipulated them to be very sparkly. So, what can you really trust?
Alucard. That was a 70-inch goddamn plasma TV. And Lunar's just saying no.
All right. So I've become basically the
You're Heracles or Hercules, depending on which.
Hercules. I'm
Well,
Hercules.
Well, again, I say depending on which one. If you're the son of Zeus, you're Heracles. If you're the son of whatever the other one is, then you're Hercules.
No, son of Zeus was Hercules.
No,
Heracles was the other one.
no, it's not. It is
Yes,
actually
it
not.
is. It actually is. What the fuck?
Fight,
Hercules
fight,
literally
fight,
had like.
fight.
I will fucking end this poor dumpling of a man. You literally watched a Disney movie where they used the lore halfway accurately.
Hercules is Roman. The Greek is Heracles. Disney got it wrong, and because of that, everybody
Well,
thinks
fuck,
that.
if we're gonna play it that way, we may as well say all of them have been wrong because this one here says the Hercules came from Thrace.
Yeah, that's semantics.
But actually, historically,
They all have no. Fuck you, historic. It's a goddamn myth. Every culture on the Hellenic Peninsula has used the myth.
I know, but
Wait a minute. You
names
said
are
Hercules
important.
who did you
Roman.
say Hercules?
Roman.
It was Roman?
Yeah.
Does Roman use Norse
use-
mythology?
They don't. Wait, what? Hercules.
The
is-
Hercules
Norse,
is
but,
Roman, but it's Jupiter and the planets.
Who's
Greek had
the
Mount
guy
Olympus.
that
Greek
that
had Mount
cleaned
Olympus.
Who's the
Shit.
guy that cleaned out the
That's Hercules, and the 12. That's the 12 labors of Hercules.
Heracles.
right?
We can talk about this later.
I'm gonna kill you.
Sounds like it's the same person. You're just calling it by a different name.
It
Right,
is.
right,
It's
right.
literally
Similar
Heracles
name.
and Hercules are two different names for the same figure in Greek mythos.
This is where D&D devolves. Yeah. Like I said,
Yes.
we'll talk about
Potato.
it later.
And
No, it's potato. Anywho, yeah, lots to do.
Yep.
I will say this before they leave, and she accepts the armor, obviously. Say before they leave that they will get on this task as soon as if we can, but we are obligated to finish the task that we are currently on first. So, be aware that we will be finishing that task first. Though that should be a simple matter of returning to town and letting them know that we've completed the job.
That is absolutely fine. Again, if you're expecting any sort of reward though for dealing with Haggith, that is you guys cleaning up your mess, even if you didn't know you caused it. But if you can save the world, then we'll talk about a reward then.
ow.
All right, then are we leaving at that point?
Well, that's up to you guys.
I guess so. Sounds
Kodak
like
doesn't have a
plan.
reason to stick around.
All right, then as we
Yeah.
are leaving, Auntie Karen will notice, like, scratch her arm, notice the words engraved into her arm, and she's like, "Bag, why the castle? Why is he there? Why? Like, she just remembered.
Well, I don't know everything. I just know that's where he is.
And without another word, Auntie Karen just, like, sort of runs out. As you eventually
alright?
walk outside the building, you'll notice Auntie Karen is standing there, like, lost, like she forgot why she was running.
Good
You
old
okay?
Auntie Karen.
Right, we need to go to Listenberg. Right. Fire. Why we? Let's go.
We'll solve that problem when we will cross that bridge when we get to it. Auntie Karen, it will not go unresolved.
Yes. Oh, right. Let's drop by a stable, see if they have any beasts of burden for sale. She's sort of like in a daze.
Yeah, she's gonna pay special attention to make sure that Auntie Karen makes it through this day without too much trauma.
So if you go find a stable, there is a few horses and
Is there maybe an ox for sale?
let me see.
Oxes are in the basically they're not in the like vehicles and whatnot. They're in the trade goods area, but they're 15 gold.
$99. Yeah, there's a couple of oxes there. Very strong, healthy-looking oxes.
All right, then Auntie Karen will buy an ox for 15 gold, but she'll just pay 2 platinum and just not mind the change.
And there is even several large carriages that you could fit a tent inside. It's covered, and yeah, you guys could fit several people in there, lots of goods, whatever you needed. Much, much bigger than what you already have.
That's up to you.
Andy Karen just ignores it and just puts the hooks up the ox to the wagon. Would it be better to have a carriage? Yes. This is funnier.
Yeah, it is.
I'm actually kind of impressed. She's like shifting in the armor, trying to get. She's gonna have to take some time to put it on, of course, but she's feeling it out. This is gonna take some getting used to.
The people that are there, they all kind of look and stare at you, and they don't interact much. They don't say much as they are trying to watch how they say things, and if you say anything that might seem a little, close to being getting pranked, they will be like, they'll make noises and stuff to cover it up. Just trying to be careful, as they have been warned by Oberon to not do anything, and it's very hard for them because it's in their nature to fuck with people.
Right. Well, we do our part. I need to.
But you guys can continue on back to Ulistenberg. It is still before lunch, so you will not get there within the day, but it will take about a day and a half now to get there. Unless Rex wants to pick up the ox and just sprint.
Could very well.
What's your strength at?
25.
Yeah, 25.
You'll probably pick up the ox, the wagon, you guys.
Yeah. That being said, technically the ox can still carry more than you.
Yeah, the ox will always be able to carry me. I'm still a small creature. I'm just jacked.
No,
Yes,
no,
but
just
carry more than you, as in
Oh, carry more than me? Yes.
yeah, it's a large creature, so that means it doubles its carrying capacity. But then it has Beast of Burn, so it counts as a huge creature, but doubles it again.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Unless
But
you're
yes,
roid
true.
out.
You could pick up the ox and just run away with it. That is something you can do at this point.
Yeah, you could take like all their stuff, run away, and Auntie Karen would not be able to do shit to you.
I mean, I'm faster than you, but yeah, I don't think I could do much.
All right, yeah, you are faster than me. You go 30, I only go 25.
Yeah, but you
Actually-
can cast that for strike.
I go 40, and I move at double that with the cunning action.
Oh yeah, that's right.
My top movement speed is 120 a turn.
That is terrifying.
Yep, especially since she's hobbling the whole way. She's just like sprint hobbling.
Oh god, that's I can picture that. That would be terrifying. You'll
It's
see
worse
that.
when she brings out her lobster claws, just starts impaling them on the ground, pushing her forward faster.
Oh,
Like a literal horror movie.
And then there's just the Toadak. Out of everyone they could, like, if we gave an enemy a choice to fight the 3 people in front of them, they have Auntie Karen, Toadak, and they have Dusk. Dusk has become the least menacing out of all of us.
Yeah, they'd go after Dusk.
Yeah, but then she glows white and flies in the air with her angel wings. It's like, oh, that's a different type. That's a different type of terrifying. These two can kill us. Dealing with that risks our mortal soul.
Oh, they might still pick on the smallest character too, because I'm still small size. So they might think, yeah, sure, he looks like he fucking has dosed steroids every day for the last 16 years, but he's so small.
Yeah. I just imagine like a bunch of freaking bandits walking up. It's like, give us all your. Never mind, we're leaving. Yeah, you guys are heading off to Ulistenberg as fast as possible.
Yep.
All right. Like I said, it takes about a day and a half to get back. There isn't any sort of struggle to get there. There's nothing that tries to accost you. And about mid-morning on the day after you leave the town, you guys get back to Ulistenberg's, and there's still guards there. They're still kind of wary, but they're just like, it's you guys. So, did you do what you were supposed to?
Kodak?
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
have that.
sorry. Oh yeah, Todak just dives back into the back of the thing, into the wagon and pulls out the Hydra head and just carries it past the man. Oh yeah, Todak did a thing.
They just look and just like, that's unsettling.
Yes, we did what we were set out to do. It wasn't as clean and clear cut as we had hoped. But we did find a
We fixed the problem. You may not like
Yeah.
how.
yeah.
Question: This is the new day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ooh. How bad is that?
Checking.
God. The guards, they let you in without too much struggle.
Todak just carries the head everywhere he goes.
I guess I'll drive the cart all the way up to the Duke's Manor.
Yep. A few guards actually escort you guys up there, and when you get there, the Duke is informed and comes down, and he is dressed up again in like full cloak with a mask on. It's like, you guys are back. Welcome back. It's much sooner than I thought. This is perfect.
Todak just drops the head on the floor.
What is that?
Auntie Karen will step up and say, "Rawr, rawr, 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 rawr."
I will make a link so that I can understand what the hell she's trying to say and I can interpret.
Realizing what's
Hey,
going on,
Luna,
Auntie Karen takes a
on.
step back, just like, right, she's like messing with her throat, like she has something caught in her throat. She just takes a step back.
She's doing the thing again.
Yes, you might want to explain there, Dusk. Something seems to be caught my throat.
Yeah, she will translate for so in order to alleviate that, you can just talk normal. Assume that I'm translating it for you.
All right then. Karen will just explain what went on. That we went there. People were acting a little odd. Seemed, just empty houses everywhere. As you heard, basically there were disappearances without there being disappearances. We found again during our search we found a creature walking through the town. We followed it and found that it was not the creature responsible, but a bagman. It was fighting a weird creature, and then she continues explaining the general gist of what happened, including we eventually. It's up to whether or not Dusk wants to explain, but we put a bunch of oil into these craters that were found throughout the city. Near once we got our minds sort of together, we saw some corpses around, just like littering the place. And after dumping the oil down there, we set the oil afire. Which there's apparently coal down there. We did not know that. We eventually did
She
kill the
will
creature.
explain it. Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Dusk is not going to lie to them. She does explain. I mean, first things first, out of character. As I said, I was under the impression that the entire town was full of dead bodies and that there wasn't any living people there. So I was a little thrown off by
Technically, we were half
that
correct.
revelation. But she explains to them that the threat was in a hidden underground somewhere in
network.
the labyrinth of cave networks, and that we attempted to use oil and fire to flush the creature out, and it worked. However, turns out there were consequences to that we did not foresee. That the cave network ran through coal deposits that we were not unaware of, and apparently the city was unaware of as well. So there were consequences that were unaccounted for that happened. Though we were able to clean up the situation, the townsfolk were not 100% happy about the outcome.
Well, just to
Despite the
make
fact that
sure, let's go inside before we talk further. He does
I
bring,
assumed we had already gone inside.
but yeah, he brings you inside now, and he takes off the cape and the mask and sits down, and he starts rubbing his forehead. And it's like old habits, but you're telling me, and I'm ignoring the whole coal thing because again, you guys couldn't have foreseen that, and I didn't even know about it. But you put oil down into holes, set off a bomb in a well that connected to the holes, and didn't expect to burn down the town?
Oh no. Todak knew there would be some ramifications to this action, but how else do you hunt a massive tunnel worm? You cut off its escapes. You attack it everywhere at once. Ultimately, through our actions, no one has died.
They're not
To be fair,
wrong.
most of the holes that were filled, or the holes that we were used, I suppose we need to explain what this thing was doing. It was
Eating
burrowing
people.
these holes to get into people's houses and devouring the occupants. So when we found holes that led to its lair in these houses that it had already attacked, we filled them, or we used those. Um, the damage that was caused by the fire was excessive, definitely more than expected. But again, it's not my expert to. I'm not an expert in these fields. Didn't actually anticipate what the outcome was going to be. All we knew was that we had a threat that was hiding, and we needed an effective way to flush it out. And we thought that, and not only did it work, it worked very well.
Splendidly.
Saved the
now
town,
these people are alive to
but
kvetch about it.
yeah, but the people were less than Well, I can't say all the people were less than appreciative, but some of the people were, I suppose, understandably upset by some of the damage that had been caused. Though I should point out that most of the damage that had been caused were in homes that had already been obliterated.
The occupants had been obliterated.
Well, that's
Yes.
where the fires started, but they did spread quite a bit before the spell was actually broken. And while again nobody was hurt, there were some houses that were perfectly fine that did get mostly burned down.
Tell me, can a house be fixed and rebuilt any easier than a human could be replaced or rebuilt?
Well, that depends on the magic, I guess, but
And
in
even
this.
with that answer, we already know that it is easier to replace a house.
I should also point out that we spent the entire day trying to put out the fires that were caused through
And
magical means.
they were not grateful. Worth a shit.
Look, you're going to get your money, don't worry, I'm not going to skip out on paying you, but I'm going to need to think, because that was definitely excessive. Good intentions do not negate a bad outcome in a situation like this. I'm not
It
saying
is-
you're going to be
Yes.
arrested and charged, but things need to be thought about.
Well, I mean, if you cross a bridge and there's an army following you, and you destroy the bridge so that they can't chase you, and then complain that the bridge has been destroyed, even though the enemy is on the other stuck on the other side and can't attack you anymore, that's
Are you trying to say that you
perfectly
don't deserve consequences for bad actions?
I am.
no. I'm saying that the consequences for our actions were unforeseen. And in this case, I mean, in hindsight, maybe we might have done it a little different, but had we done it a little different, may have taken longer, which means more people might have died.
Again, I'm
We
not arguing the end result here. I'm just arguing the fact that you set a town on fire and are trying to say that nothing bad should happen to you, no slap on the wrist or nothing. Again, I'm going to pay you, but I need to think.
What would you have done if you knew that your city was filled with tunnels that could have at any time been filled with creatures that will eat your people? The quickest and easiest fashion of way of doing things is the way we did it.
Fill it with water?
The creature we did not. How do you know the creature does not breathe underwater? According to this, it looks like it lives. According to this head, it looks like it lives underground almost exclusively and is always covered in a thin slime.
And not only that, water wouldn't work.
Where would we
Um,
have gotten that much water?
Not only would we not would it require an immense amount of water, it would you also presuming the fact that the water wouldn't drain out as fast as you were pouring it in.
And then the city just becomes a massive sinkhole.
Again, I need to think. Because just he pushes a small coffer towards you and just says, "Take it and I will contact you again at another point."
Okay. We will likely be leaving soon. We were hired to do another job, but we'll be back.
Yes, well, what other job is that, if you don't mind me asking, in case I need you?
Unfortunately, we are not at liberty to say. Though I think in the end it will benefit everyone on the whole.
And you're not going to tell the person who's been paying you and giving you a roof over your heads for the past little bit. Just you're going to leave and not let me
I
know
would
that.
not. I would not. What's the word I'm looking for? How do I put this? I would not betray your trust should somebody ask us who you were, any more than I would betray these people's trust, because that's the moral and ethical thing to do.
I'm not asking you who
Wasn't-
hired you. I just am asking what it is you're doing that could be so important.
Their business is private. Your business is private.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell you, but I'd have to go back and make sure that it's okay for me to tell you. And that would take a couple days travel.
Well, recover, do what you need to do. Just at least let somebody know that you're leaving so I can be informed, so I don't try to hire you to do a job again and you're not here.
Yes, obviously, absolutely, which is why I mentioned it in the first place. Good day. Thank you very much. We will keep in touch. Hopefully, we can get back here before any major threats or, well,
Issues.
yes, no issues happen while we are gone.
Yes. Well, again, I need to think. I didn't think I could have a headache as a Warforged, but here we are.
I can cure that for you if you like.
No, just let me deal with it.
Leave.
Please.
We go. Distribute the coin as it is needed, and I think I'm gonna go do some communing at my temple. I need a break. This has not been a very good week.
It really hasn't been for you guys. But we will leave that there. It is noon and I am getting hungry, and I know some
Yeah.
people have to sleep.
I do. I need to sleep.
I'm actually surprised I'm only just now getting hungry because I only had a very small breakfast of Fruit Loops.
Oh, thank you very much for the game. It was fun, entertaining. Good times.
Certainly entertaining enough. All right, I'm out of here.
Alright, good game, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope everybody enjoyed watching. And I'll
Yep,
be
good
back
game.
later today to play some Security Breach.
I am going to go talk to my little bunny friends.
That doesn't
I'm
sound
gonna
weird
go
at
murder
all.
folks. Later.
Alright, have a good night, guys.
Good game. Have a nice day.
Good night,
Stay safe.
guys.